Don't act so high and mighty after just 4 years. Stop contacting me. Fine by me. I was utterly disgusted by Alice's attitude. She never considered me her mother-in-law, not even for a second. Why did Michael marry someone like her? Just you wait. I vowed to myself that I would stand up to Alice. My name is Tracy, and I'm 70 years old. My family consists of my son Michael and my grandson Hank. Michael is 45 this year, and Hank is 18. Hank is set to go to college this fall. Ever since Michael got married, he's lived far away. He moved a considerable distance from my home, so he doesn't visit often. Michael is my only child, so when he first moved out after getting married, I felt incredibly lonely. I've gotten used to it now, but I still look forward to his occasional visits and seeing Hank. It feels like Hank was born just yesterday, and now he's off to college. Time really does fly. Then I got news that Hank's college is near my home. Would it be okay if Hank stays with you? He's having trouble finding a place to live. That's the message I got from Michael. Of course, I was thrilled. Living with Hank, who's been away for so long, felt like a dream. My husband passed away early, so I've been living alone. I've gotten used to being by myself, but living with someone again is exciting. Absolutely, I immediately replied to Michael. Thanks, that's a relief. Michael seemed relieved too. I quickly started tidying up the house to prepare for Hank's arrival. My home, which I hadn't cleaned in a while, became quite neat with Hank's stay as a catalyst. Finally came the day Hank was to arrive. Granny, thank you for having me. Hank is a polite and confident young man, just like Michael. I was relieved he takes after him. Why not Alice? It became clear right away. This place is as messy as ever. Alice walked in saying that. My daughter-in-law's name is Alice. She's about the same age as Michael, and I've disliked her from the moment we met. She makes cutting remarks and has no problem disrespecting me or Michael. Michael doesn't seem to mind, but I've been hurt by Alice's words many times. The most hurtful was our very first meeting. Nice to meet you. I initially thought she was a good person. She's petite and has a cute face. But her words that followed were harsh. Wait, you live in this dump? That was her first comment upon seeing my home during our initial meeting. I was shocked that someone would say something like that. Our house is old, you know. Michael quickly came to my rescue. I thanked him silently in my heart. The house was built when my husband and I got married, so it's definitely old. I knew it was getting old, but was it necessary to say that at our first meeting? Besides, it's not common courtesy to call someone's house old. Sorry if that bothered you. I just say what's on my mind. Alice apologized to Michael without even looking at me. Does she not see me? Or is she blatantly ignoring my existence? Either way, I was fuming. She had insulted the home filled with memories that my husband and I built. From that first meeting, I knew I couldn't stand Alice. Decades have passed, and my feelings haven't changed. I'm grateful she gave me my adorable grandson, Hank, and married my only son, Michael. But her daily attitude made it impossible for me to get along with her. She generally talks down to people, including me, her mother-in-law. Who's the idiot who did this? Everyone is so incompetent. Whenever the family gathers, she speaks harshly to Michael and me. She could be kinder, and instead of saying it directly, she makes snide remarks, which is infuriating. What does Michael see in Alice like this? Watching them, it always seems like Michael is accommodating Alice. Michael has always been considerate of others and seldom speaks his mind. In contrast, Alice always wants to have her way. It's only natural that Michael ends up being the submissive one. I've always been worried about him. Is he being mistreated? Is he facing any unfairness? But Michael always keeps smiling. He's kind when he comes home, and since Hank takes after him, I feel relieved. As for Alice, minimal interaction is enough. That's what I thought. Now, back to the day Hank arrived. This place is as messy as ever. I've learned to ignore Alice's snide remarks. At first, like Michael, I tried to smooth things over so the atmosphere wouldn't get awkward, but it became tiresome to deal with her constant jabs. The first time she insulted me, I was so bothered I couldn't sleep. I was so distressed there were days I couldn't leave the house. But engaging with her only stressed me out. It's not good for my mental health. So over the years, I've mastered the art of ignoring her. I think I've grown quite a bit. We should consider some repairs soon. Michael always cares about the house. He's a blessing. But Alice objected. Why spend money on that? Let's expand our own house instead. Alice clearly doesn't care about my home, or should I say, she doesn't care about the family. To Alice, her opinion is the only one that matters. She doesn't listen to Michael or me. Well, it's not urgent, so it's fine. As always, Michael is good at smoothing things over. Mom, please take care of Hank. Of course, I'm looking forward to living together. See you, Mom, Dad. Hank and I saw Michael and Alice off to their car. Alice didn't even say goodbye to me. She briskly got into the car. Michael gave a quick wave, and they left. Finally some freedom. Ah! Hank sighed. What's the matter? Hank seemed somewhat happy. Isn't he lonely being away from his parents? I feel refreshed being away from Mom. What do you mean? Hank opened up to me. Mom always badmouths people. I was sick of hearing it every day. So Alice is like that at home, too. That's why I chose to live far away. I feel bad leaving Dad alone, but I'm going to enjoy my new life. I'll support you as much as I can. Thanks, Granny. Even her own child dislikes her. I thought she was beyond redemption. At the same time, I vowed to fully support Hank's college life. I'll take better care of him than Alice ever could. And so, Hank's college life began. Once college started, Hank became incredibly busy. I don't remember being this busy in my time. The number of Hank's classes is like that of a high school student. Being a college student these days must be tough. It's what I've always wanted to study. Despite the busyness, Hank is positively focused on his academics. The energy of youth is something else. Seeing him like this gives me energy every day. Since Hank moved in, Michael and Alice have been visiting more frequently. They used to come only during summer and Christmas vacations, but now they visit once a month. I'm happy they're thinking of Hank, but the increased contact with Alice has become a concern. Is Mom here again? Are you getting proper meals? Are you okay? I was already worn out by Alice's usual cutting remarks. It's as if she's implying that I'm mistreating Hank. Granny always gives me delicious meals. Thanks to her, my student life is going well. I was touched by Hank's words. Hank always seems busy, but knowing he feels this way made me happy. Is that so? Alice was visibly annoyed. Such childish behavior for an adult. After giving Hank a mysterious lecture, she left looking satisfied. As for Michael, he seemed genuinely concerned about Hank. "Is Hank causing any trouble? Is he helping you out, Granny?" "He's not just concerned about Hank, but also about me. I always wish it was just the three of us in this family. Why did Michael marry someone like Alice?" "It's true." After Michael left, I talked with Hank. "Mom doesn't even see you as a person, Granny. I feel bad for Dad having to live with her every day." Not seeing me as a person? Those words cut deep. I felt ashamed that Hank saw it that way too. So while Hank was in college, I tried to avoid Alice as much as possible. Time flew by, and 4 years have passed since Hank started college. "It's gone by so fast since I moved here." Hank is graduating from college this year. Finally, it's time for him to enter the workforce. These past 4 years have felt faster than any before. Maybe it's because Hank was here with me. "You've worked hard these 4 years. I'm glad you're graduating." "It's all thanks to your support, Granny." "It's not thanks to me. Hank worked hard in his studies. He's also secured a job nearby." "Granny, I have something to discuss." "What is it?" Hank suddenly wanted to talk. "I want to keep living here after I graduate." "What?" "Mom's annoying when I go home, and it's closer to work from here." Hank had always disliked Alice. I was happy he wanted to continue living here. "Of course you can." Hank immediately reported this to Michael over the phone. "I'll be coming home for a while." School ended, and Hank decided to go home for a bit. He didn't want to, but it seemed Michael had asked him to come. The house felt lonely after Hank left. Then the phone rang. It was Alice. "Why is Hank staying at your place?" Alice was furious. At first, I didn't understand what she was talking about. "Hank should be living with us. Why does he want to stay there, even after getting a job?" It seemed Alice wanted Hank to come home. But staying here was Hank's decision. I thought there was no point in her complaining to me. "It was Hank's decision to stay here. Don't complain to me about it." But Alice's defiance didn't stop. "Why are you acting so high and mighty when you've been living apart all this time?" I had no intention of acting superior. "What are you misunderstanding? I have no idea what you're talking about." "Don't act so important just because of 4 years. Stop contacting us." Alice didn't even seem grateful that I had been housing Hank. I didn't do it for her sake. I had been doing my best for these 4 years, hoping to support Hank in some way. "Hank will be living here from now on, just so you know." Alice had decided everything on her own. Hank's belongings were still here, but she even said it was fine because they would buy new ones. I didn't want anything more to do with Alice, who could dismiss people so easily. I couldn't forgive her any more. "Fine by me." I said that and hung up the phone. Alice had stolen time from Hank and me. I looked back on the happy 4 years. What could Hank be thinking now? But she told me not to contact them anymore. It would be too late if something happened to Michael or Hank after I reached out. For a while, I spent my days alone. At first, I missed Hank, but after some time, I realized I felt relieved to be rid of Alice. It's for the best, I reassured myself. Then, 6 months later, Michael suddenly contacted me. What could it be? "Mom, I want you to be there too." The thought of Alice being at home made me hesitant to go. But it was Michael's request. I nervously visited Michael's house. When I got there, Alice and Hank were sitting.
I'm really disappointed.
For once, Michael sighed. What on earth had happened?
She's been using Hank's and my money without permission.
Michael pointed at Alice. What do you mean? Apparently, after bringing Hank back home, Alice became even more controlling over Michael and Hank. She had been taking their money and using it as she pleased.
That's why I didn't want to go back.
Hank was also disappointed. Alice was hanging her head, saying nothing. Well, someone who can't appreciate their mother-in-law can't appreciate their family either. My long-suppressed anger was finally erupting. Being alone had almost made me forget, but seeing Alice's face brought back all the harassment she had done. Every single act of harassment by Alice. Sorry for the old and dirty house. Did you want Michael's money that badly, even if it came from such a place? I was surprised at how fluently I could express my disdain. I used to be too timid to say anything. What is it? What? Go on, say it. At my words, Alice was taken aback. When confronted by the whole family, Alice seemed unable to argue back. She looked like a completely different person from the usually assertive Alice. If you can't value your family, you need to leave this house, I shouted at Alice. I don't want that. I couldn't understand why she would cling now after betraying her family. How selfish could she be? Listen to your past self. Understand what you've done.
That's right. Granny has been suffering all this time. I hate this home, too.
Hank joined in the anger. He must have had even more unpleasant experiences than I had. Making your own child feel this way is unacceptable as a parent.
Alice has been nothing but a source of fear for a long time. This ends now.
Michael muttered. I was surprised by Michael's words, since he had been silent all along. Why?
You think of Hank and me as nothing more than servants, don't you?
I never thought that.
But both Hank and I have been enduring it. Emotional scars have been left. Any excuses now are futile.
Then Michael handed Alice divorce papers.
I'm going to live with Hank and Mom, so we're done.
No way. Too bad, but you brought this on yourself. Alice had nothing to say in response to my words. And so Michael and Alice got divorced without any issues. I was truly relieved. Living as a family of 3 had always been my dream.
Living with Hank and Mom.
Michael's words made me happier than anything else. And so, life as a family of 3 with Michael and Hank began in my home.
I couldn't say it before.
About Alice?
I was scared. Anything I said would make her angry.
Michael was emotionally wounded, too. He had suffered significant damage during his married life. Michael would need some time to rest. I heard that they had filed for the return of the money Alice had spent. But Alice had a spending habit and no savings. Now she's in debt and in a difficult situation to pay back the money. But that's also Alice's own doing.
Dad really had poor judgment. I don't want to hear that from Hank.
Even Hank was saying it. Of course, I thought the same, but I couldn't say it in front of them. From now on, let's all live peacefully together.
Absolutely. Agreed.
And so, our family's new life began. Living with a larger group after so long felt refreshingly new. I want to live peacefully and get along as a family of 3.